I am pissed. I'm like, fuck the playoffs right now. Like, what the fuck?
Didn't Bo say something in the main chat?
I don't know. I have not looked at the main chat in a good couple of hours. I think I perfect QBR. Hell of a game, Pat. Great game, fellas. Great game, man.
Your game over with now, Max?
Yep.
Yeah, that junk got a little nasty, huh? Philly
Burger.
burgers.
Burger.
49ers.
Hamburger. Hamburger. Hamburger with cheese.
Two-step Texans.
Baby.
Cut that music, Max. I'm live.
Packers.
Live the life of a fighter. You deserve
Saints fleur-de-lis. Sweaty palms
The playoffs is. The playoffs is. Playoff time. Come on. Come on.
Seahawks, Cardinals, 50-50. Away, 50-50. 50-50. Come out of that. How fault? I'm impressed as hell with the fans watching. That's the man. All right. Before we get back to the music, let's get back to the plugs. The
Falcons.
plugs is always official, right? We always got to get to the thin nugs and figure out the thin nugs and the din
Black
nugs.
Panthers
You know
race
what I'm saying?
first
Doing the big
darts
nugs
return.
and then the quinn nugs. And it's week 18 was interesting. We did have some big games that was played. We're going to start to see a lot of things, right? We're going to go get to the schedule
If
and
I
look at
get
the
a
playoff
dance with
picture
her, I
tree
might have
and all
chance with
that. If I
her.
get a dance with
The
her, I
big
might have
nugs
a
with these
chance with
midges,
her. The
my bitch,
big
weary
dance.
face, weary face, weary face, let's go.
But let's get to it, man. All right, so as I stay here on this stuff, you know, doing has Melvin Robinson hit the wall, hit the rookie wall already. Who got him? Marlon Robertson. I don't know, Malik Willis with another TD pass. All right, so we had some big games, man. We know, playoff run. This. Let's talk about season one, active season one, not the sim season.
Quall
Let's talk
already.
about
All right,
active
look at
season
that
one.
playoff tree before and after you advance the week, 'cause that jump can change some too. Well, the seeding change.
Let's talk about the entire season right now. Now let's think about some things. The season was split into two. All right, the season was split into two. We had some really good football being played by some really good guys. We had some really big things that we really kind of haven't really spoke on as much or talked about like we should be talking about, I guess. But the season was split into two. It was split into those that are locked in trying to get to a Super Bowl and win one, and those that are locked into their off season already. We had guys, me myself included, guys locked into, you know, can't wait till we get to the point where we at right now, where we can, start to get our GM on and start to do other things to get your team set up to be able to do what you want to do in the very next season. But how about those guys that played their games? Same guys that didn't sit starters down during the sim season, developed their team, and then you got the guys that pretty much losing every game, and you got to be able to develop in that same process, right? It's a little harder to develop in that process because losing gives you a bunch of red players. But if you're doing it right, you're building it right, and you know how to do it, then you should be all right too. But you got to separate the categories. You got some guys that were losing, and their rookies look worse than they looked when they drafted them. When we talk about the season itself and the guys that you know are looking to build their team through the draft, so they not winning ball games. How many of those guys can turn the light switch off and on, Max? How many of those
What you mean?
guys can turn the
Like turn the light switch
light switch off and
on and
on?
off, like for
Like,
the season or for
if you
playoffs
losing
or?
games, right? There's nothing wrong
Oh,
with
you mean
this.
as a
If you're
whole?
losing games
I get you. I
because
get you.
you're looking
Not that
at
many.
somebody you want in the draft or you want to get a high pick, top five, top 10, how many of y'all are doing that but can't turn that switch back on? Like, what do you
I would
do?
say if there's 10, let's say 12. Let's say because I mean I say 10. Let's keep it at 10. If there's 10
Chargers.
people, 10. Let's assume all 10 of those people were like capable winners in a way, had chances or have a chance because it's early in the disc, and 10 of them are tanking. I think probably like at max three are potential to be able to bounce back that next year, tanked for that one reason or whatever they so called have it, assess that shit that they were trying to get it, and then come out of that and be like, all right, now I'm about to go to the playoffs and just cut it on just like that and start going to the playoffs. Like I think about three at max out of 10, which is not in good favors if you're the other seven.
All right, so the debate, 'cause my shows is debate shows. for us to debate each other in these conversations. The debate will be this: is it intelligent, or do you have the capability to lose and then turn it back on to be
Browns.
able to win? I would say some guys are hurting themselves even more losing right now for a high draft pick than they would be helping themselves plan, and maybe they losing it while they playing anyway. But like, you get what I'm trying to say? Like I think guys are putting themselves all the way behind the eight ball. You're not paying attention to your division, what's in your division, what's being built, how they being built. And if you put yourself 2 seasons, because you got to think about it, the sim season.
Some guys are putting themselves way behind the eight ball because while they
Yeah,
trying to lose out, they're really not developing their players and developing their
players.
team.
Yeah.
So, like, they just
Look,
they
when I
mess.
did Game of Thrones was different. Obviously, the Game of Thrones I missed the first season, right? Missing the first
Right.
season. The second season was kind of almost non-existent. It didn't even feel real the second season because half of the first half of the season was spent recuperating from me not really playing no games in the first season, right? Second half of the season was finally starting to understand shit, and then I had to go make drastic jumps that were beneficial in Game of Thrones because the draft had superstars and shit and da 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 and da 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 da. But with this situation, if I was to miss the first season, I couldn't just bounce back the second season and start making splash trades here and there, because then my money would be fucked. And then in the draft, you can get wins, but like all of them got to be wins for it to be worth the while of tanking in a sense. And I mean, not all, but like I would say your first 4 rounds, 5 rounds got to be kind of like wins, and you still should have managed to get at minimum 4 or 5 upgrades on majority of the players that you were trying to upgrade. And I just don't think both is plausible for a lot of people. Like I don't think a lot of people understand the gravity of having a really bad season. Some bad seasons can take you like 2 years to get out of. 1 year for the Red Arrows and the bullshit, and the next year, I mean, the Red Arrows are reset, but like just generally what the Red Arrows did that last year lingers over. Like when guys have shitty
By
to
that
shit
time,
seasons, all that,
you
all that
don't
lingers
waste a
over.
rookie contract. You don't waste a rookie
Wasted a
contract. Settle it.
year. They XP bar don't went up
Wasted
two
two
or three more
years.
thousand. Yeah, 2 years. So they XP bar went up 4,000 more. Development didn't really happen as far as the trade, so it's not like you saved something there. And now they up for contract, and you gonna lose out on just. I mean, you could
I
lose out. You gonna
mean,
lose out on other shit. Just like I said, if you don't win in the draft at all. So I mean, I don't think a lot of guys understand that the bad season, one bad season, can set you back two
and
years.
then not
Like,
only that, some of them people can't. Some folks don't really do too much progressing of their
Mm-hmm.
players as it is. Like some people just
Mm-hmm.
don't know how to progress. So like losing out to go grab a player or two, and then 2 seasons,
hitting.
like everybody's still gonna be the same overall. You want by teams. We done seen it before though. Like people just doing stuff without no real plan. They planning out for the day right now, but there's no plan for tomorrow. What's your next step?
Yeah,
Like
it's
and
either people are looking too far ahead or looking too close in the sense. Like,
well, it's
and
cool.
I mean, yeah, if I was a certain, I mean, just generally, I think if looking too close, you'll miss a lot of shit, and you'll fuck up a lot of shit because you're looking too close, and like you're not really absorbing what's happening right now to your team and where other teams are. Like, I think if half of the guys, the 7 other guys, if they went and looked at the rest of their division and how the rest of their division so much went up by playing and maybe not winning, or I mean winning, playing, and maybe not, they didn't make the playoffs, but they played, they're 7-6, or they're 8-5, or they're 9 and whatever and missed the playoffs still. That
Like you
development
said,
next year, you got to be looking real at your roster and be like, damn, like, am I in a situation where I might get swept by my whole division?
And we got some situations that's going to be like that, bro, because what end up
Like,
happening is while you're doing that and you're not developing nothing over there, you're not doing nothing, getting no stats,
other
trying
people
to
out
bring
here
nobody.
developing their
Your
teams.
division is developing like crazy over there, and they pitting themselves. Now they're not just 1 season in front of you; they're 3 seasons in front of you, and that's a lot of work to make up with.
and they figured out more about their players. Like at that point, I'm not saying when you're
Where they
tanking you
filling their
can't figure
holes.
out
Hmm.
that too. You. I'm not saying when you're tanking you don't figure out your players, because you might be just dick riding 1 or 2 players, 3 players in a sense, and you're figuring them out on offense and defense or whatever. But like you're not figuring them out in a winning fashion. You're with the even attempt to winning. So like
But when you
everything is
losing
just
out,
gonna hit
I think what
different.
he, I think what you trying to say, I think what Max trying to say is when somebody, if I'm losing out and a motherfucker complete a pass or two, I don't even give a damn because I'm just losing out. As opposed if I'm winning and you complete a pass or two, it's like, damn, what the fuck? This
And then your
cornerback not
players just
playing?
start
Is
getting
it this
used to that.
cornerback fault?
Yeah,
Is this going on? So you seeing them
exactly.
hoes and you dealing with them Jones ASAP. In losing season, you're not worried about some of the mishaps as much. You know what I mean? Or some people aren't. You know what I mean? So it's just like you end up falling behind. You fall behind. You lose out fall behind trying to draft this, that, and the fourth. Then you start to play with the team. You're like, damn, I do got some holes here, or this don't go right, or that ain't go right. And you got no contingency. So,
And
but you know,
listen. If you got like, look, man, the whole thing about real draft is the rookies. Simple as that. The real draft league, right? You got to get those guys developed, man. You got to get them developed. It's not, a lot of guys haven't really, and I keep saying this, haven't played in the start over real draft. Haven't played in that start over real draft where you're just not going to win on abilities
yeah.
all crazy. You have to better develop. You got to change the ways of being, right? So again, I'm part of the losing game crew right now, but in the sense of losing games, not everybody can turn the light switch back on. Like if you turned it off,
Like
if
let
you
me
turning
ask
it
you though,
off,
pick pick a player on offense, pick a player on your defense. Don't gotta be your best player. Don't gotta be whatever. Just
Ronald
pick a player.
McDonald, how you not gonna pick him on
Yeah,
defense?
man. Say, I
And
mean, it could
on
be, but
offense, is the, hold
he
on, I'm
might
gonna tell
fuck
him
with
for it.
Yaya.
I'm gonna tell him for it. He do fuck with Yaya, but Ronald McDonald is if he down at the defensive player of the
I
year in the
say,
league, like, and then
I
on
say just
offense, it's
not his
DW, the
necessarily
first pick in the
best
draft.
because I say necessarily not his best because that's a given. That's what anybody is going to do when they go and draft. You know, they go. I mean,
I
they gonna make it look a
mean,
little bit crazier as far as man. You
Yaya
see,
was a
look at.
given for
I mean,
him. He saw him, he
look at
knew he
the.
was.
I mean, look at the dick riding on rookies this year. So that's what I'm saying is like the first one or two players is everybody can kind of do that. But if you're talking about a second and third player,
All right,
not
so
even
and I
statistically,
think what Max wants you to do, man. Like we talking about teams that's losing out, and we got one of them coaches right here. So don't talk about McDonald. We've been saying McDonald and
exactly,
DW
just
all
like
year.
Xavier
Tell
Smith
us a
is like I
player
wouldn't
on
want to
your
talk about
team.
Xavier Smith because it's like
Well, we
obviously
stopped
he did
talking
it.
about him. He X Factor already, and
Yeah,
that coach did something smart. He was already getting Andy ISO involved, but later on, he really started super dick riding Andy ISO so he can get Andy ISO to go up on his abilities. And I mean, that was smart. Smith reached X Factor, so and his development. I mean, that's fine. So he started getting his other wide receiver involved. So I ain't, you give him a little.
I'm gonna give you two players on defense: Isaiah
All right.
Land, Isaiah Land, Isaiah Land, and Bolden from Jackson State, and Isaiah Land from FAMU.
okay, I could go look at progression history, but off the top of your head, how many upgrades do you think you've got with them from the start of the season to the end of the season?
At least six, probably more than that.
I
To be honest
mean,
with you.
and that starts first of all,
Are
but
either
first
one of
and
those players
foremost,
eligible for trait upgrade?
Um, I don't know.
Lands at what right end? I
probably
think
not
Land
because
might be
he
right
got Bolden
outside.
late. He got Bolden late, I think.
Yeah, I think
Hmm.
Land might be right outside. Like he might be right outside the trait upgrade for right ends. And then you said the other one was who?
Isaiah Bolden, I got him late,
He
free
got them late
agency.
from practice
Bolden.
squad, yeah, free agent. But even
Okay,
with
but
that
even
being
there, even
said,
I was about to say,
them
even with
XP
that,
going up.
that's another player that like build. Like you see how like look, we had practice squad shit. I ain't get 32 motherfucking teams. That's a
Right,
problem. Like
right.
that's a problem. Like, are you too good for him? Like that. Like that's what I'm saying. Like guys is they missing what's
In
going
that
on in the right
aspect of
now.
things, I think just using an example of somebody who normally tries to take advantage of every step of the thing. I'm gonna just use Craig. Craig ain't missing no off season, no free agency, none of that shit.
Mm-mm.
But that's an example of a guy that, and he be grabbing players that he don't even have no intentions of bringing in at the start at times, a lot of times. But that's an example of a owner that uses all the aspects of everything that's available to him to build to do what he do with his team.
Especially if you tanking, like, especially if you're not trying to win, you got to take advantage of all the other perks that's around. Like, you got to take
Everything
advantage of
like
that.
waivers, motherfucking just the flat out free
And
agency.
it starts with playing your games. Like you
Yeah.
said, he named two players that went up at least about 6 to 7 points And he losing out this year. We know but he played his games. He ain't give up.
And those
Force
aren't
wins
his
or not,
best.
he
Like
actually
those ain't.
physically played his games.
Those aren't even the best defensive players he could have named. Like that's my point. Is like his obvious
Right.
two is of course they went up. They got messages probably and all. But to get six with third and fourth player you want to name down the road, I can only imagine what the first two or three, whatever players. You know what I'm saying? And that to me, if you're gonna go down in the losing season,
And
then
that's
you
the point. You
definitely
better
gotta
get
at
some
least,
good
yeah,
development on
you
some
gotta
players.
have it, and it's got to be across the board though, not just the top two, because it's gonna be obvious. Like you could have did the top two while trying to win. You see what I'm saying? Like you could have got your top two players shitting while trying to win. So if you're gonna be going out trying to lose, shit, make
Supposed
it
to be
down to
development
three.
3 or 4
Yeah,
players
make it down to
underneath or
three,
something.
four, five. Yeah, like got to. And I
It's
just don't think
either you develop players or you're loaded up with picks. You blew everything up and you're super loaded up with shitload of
or
picks.
that.
That
And
Yep.
means
the,
you
and the
got 2 picks
reason
in every round. If not,
and the
you
reason
wasting
is
it.
when you come back next year and you place those three, four, and fives on the field, and they going against my three, four, and fives, I'm guaranteeing my three, four, and fives are going to be better than
Titans.
yours, or at least more, uh, more consistent on the field. They got something to really go off of last year, like.
Oh,
So I'm gonna be comfortable making that shit work, like. That shit, man. Listen, guys. They gonna see next year when they trying to win and they like, fuck, bro. Like,
I
fuck.
just,
I
I
don't.
just know, I just know, us that loss, it goes two ways because, like you gotta think about it. You gotta have a strategy. You gotta have an understanding of what you're doing. Like I'm losing, and I'm in a division where I can be comfortable and play again and be all right. So I can turn the light switch back off. No disrespect to the guys that's in my division, but it's not a super strong division, so I can get away with that shit. But when you're in a division where you got niggas
even
that want
and
to take your
outside
head
of that,
off, and they can take your head off, boy, you don't want to give yourself no type of mismatch or
You
disadvantage.
handicapping yourself
You
even more.
handicapping yourself. You're not going to enjoy it. You're not going to enjoy the outcome of it.
but
But
outside of that, also something else like we were talking about having that plan. Like the Texans was in between a team that's rebuilding already. They
mhm.
had multiple
In
picks
real life,
because
yeah.
in real life they had multiple picks already because Deshaun Watson trade. Let's see, they traded the Brandon Cooks. Like so, they had hella picks. Like so, if you look at your squad and look at your draft picks, a lot of other people that's losing out ain't nowhere close. If you losing out, you gotta take advantage of every which. Gonna grab you some practice squad, free agent players, put them on the field, see how it develops. You're gonna get rid of a veteran or two.
And then he ain't half
For instance,
stepping. Nigga traded.
you got rid of Laramie Tunsil,
That's what I was about to
one
say.
of the
Like
best
he
left
ain't
tackles.
half
And got
stepping. Like
extra
if you
picks.
Titans
going
ranking
if
for
you
picks
gonna
and
do the
rankings and
damn,
know how to
you
pick
better do the
players.
damn.
Face with
Somebody better
teams
be
and
out of
champions
there.
with
You better
teams
be able
and
to bite a
champions.
bullet here because 9 times out of 10, if you tanking, you probably also got a money problem.
Mhm.
Or 8 times out of 10, I give you. You
Mhm.
probably got a money
It's just
problem.
smart business. I ain't saying too much. I'm gonna stop talking, but it's
Yeah,
smart
but
business. It's
yeah,
smart
like
business to deal with your money problems and everything, tank and all that shit in one season. But a lot of
exactly.
people don't understand that shit, so I'm gonna just shut up. And let's get back to the show. Regularly scheduled
Yeah, that's
So,
my
program.
that's my one cent on
so,
motherfucking tanking. That's it. That's all I
so,
got.
so, so, so I started the conversation off, the debate off, and it's like it was two seasons going on within one season. Would y'all agree with that?
Right.
Yeah.
It was those
First
that
half of the
was
season was
it was
different.
it was those that were scheming, to be able to build get into their future, and it was those that were scheming to get it done right now. And I think we need to pay attention to those that were scheming to get it done right now because
Let's
the
go
right
face
now
ranking half the players
was very
ranking and
good this
half of
year,
both
man.
players.
Now you're 100% right. Some of them niggas ain't even gonna get a win in their division off of doing what they did this year. But so let's take a look at something right now, man, and let's talk about those guys that got checks and marks and letters next to their names and things like that. Real fast, our top 10 Chargers are undefeated right now. The regular season for them is over with. They're not popping the champagne bottles yet, right? But what they are doing is, they get to take a little quick exhale and they get right back to work. They are undefeated in the regular season, 17-0. Saints
Shout out
had
to the
a
Chargers.
Saints had a solid fucking season this year, and they catapulted themselves into one of the best teams in the league right now. And they are 14-3. The
Shout out to the
Rams.
three. Rams number two. That's going to change at the advance.
Hmm.
Rams will be the second in the team to be
Hmm.
best.
So right now, the Rams are sitting at 15-2. They go on a 2-game winning streak. They got the Y next to their name that says they won their division. Same thing with the Bengals. They won their division at 4. Dolphins are at 5 right now. Patriots are at 7 right now. Chiefs are at
That's gonna
6 right now.
change. 'Cause the Chiefs and the Saints both 14-3. So the
Hmm.
Chiefs and the Saints should be tied for third, and then we'll hit the Bengals. Bam. Then the next tie, you got the Bengals, the Dolphins, Patriots, Panthers, the Bucks, and 49ers tied at 13-4.
Hmm.
Well, D West out of his division will still be a home game, but
Yeah.
I mean, wait,
And
gotta
if
be
they
then
all
wasn't that'd be
13-4,
crazy.
they gon' they
and
them
then
them,
there
them rankings gonna change. I
and
mean,
then there's the Titans at 11-6, won their division, and the Eagles
13-4.
at 11-6, who
But the
won their
Lions at
division.
12. Lions at 12. Oh yeah, because Lions at 12-5, and then you got the Titans and Eagles at 11-6.
Hmm.
I thought I just I sorted it by wins right quick just to the order is gonna
Now,
find. It looked like all the games finished.
all these teams that have made the playoffs right now, all these teams are they are in a light year ahead step of us that went the opposite way. These teams played their way for their future, if that makes sense. These teams played their way. Now, some guys are going to have to make some moves and do some things, and we get some guys re-signed and bring some guys up to develop. But they put themselves in a serious situation because they're going to go into the off season with high morale and everything. And guys don't realize when you're red. When you draft guys, they come in red. You ever notice that? Like, how this guy red? He ain't played it down for me yet.
Mhm.
It's coming to your
Yep.
team. Coming to your team. So let's do the quick assess of this real fast because all our conversations from here on out is postseason work right now, right? So let's get right to it. Let me show the schedule one more time. All right. Steelers and Ravens are going to be equal sim. They didn't get nothing on them. Bears Raiders equal sim. Jaguars Falcons. Jaguars get the win. Cardinals Seahawks 50-50, and that's that. Let's go.
We're off. Real draft season 1 playoffs.
And the Texans. Let's get the conversation right now. All right, fellas. All right, so
First of
you
many.
got you got some things going on. We'll talk about it in a second in college, but the breaking news right now is that the Texans went on Twitter and they're going to have a press conference tonight, and they're bringing in Prime Time, the one and only Coach Prime will be coaching the Texans. He's leaving Colorado after the season is over. They are in the bowl game this year. They are in the playoffs.
Hiring already? Oh snap!
But they will be talking about Coach Prime is now the Houston Texans head coach, and like the Houston Texans have hired
Good.
4 black head coaches in the last 4 years.
Where is this going?
Congratulations, Coach
I
Prime.
knew you was gonna be back right now. I knew it. Not right now, popping up saying back, but I knew you will be back right now. Welcome back, buddy. Let's talk about this playoff picture before we go anywhere else. Now, we're going to stay here for a second and we're going to go look at those that made the playoffs. So let's shout out to everybody. And that's first of all, it came back to this. Talk to me, Max. Is the city of Los Angeles on fire right now when it comes to NFL football?
Oh yeah, the streets are flooded.
Yeah,
If anybody knows anything about LA, the streets are flooded right now.
they got a whole week to party
Literally
in the
flooded
streets.
right now.
All the Rams and Chargers, hats, confetti out that joint already. There they watching the rest of these teams. Holy cow!
You got Rams fans that if the Chargers win the Super Bowl, they Charger fans now. You got Charger fans if the Rams win it, they Rams fans now. It's all LA, baby. And both their LA teams in the big market in the West Coast, one of the biggest markets, these guys are sitting with the 1 seeds right now. So they're waiting on who's going to be their opponent. And I think on both sides of the conferences, it's going to be very, very, very entertaining right now. So what we're going to look at, and first and foremost, is the 2 versus 7 seed in the NFC. So we got the mighty Saints, the vertical threat team that's in the league, right? With Will Levis, diaper dandy, second round quarterback. Got the Saints playing lights out offensively, scoring a whole lot of points we'll get to. And then there's that sneaky 49ers team that started off shaky and then turned up. And they're a vertical team as well, right? They both got different styles of getting the vertical passes done, but they both want to stretch that field. I would say this though, we had Christian McCaffrey probably had his best season of his career under Coach Ray and that 49ers team over there right now. I like this matchup. I don't think this is a matchup you can sneeze by and be like, Saints getting this one right away. I think this is a very interesting matchup, and this game is going to set the whole playoffs off.
I think it's interesting because I don't even think the Saints was expecting to have to play a game this week. Saints was on the bye week until last week of the season, so
Right,
just like up until a week or two ago, the 49ers just kind of slid their way in the playoffs. Like, you know what I mean, these last couple of weeks of the season. So this is a very interesting game. Like, I mean, sheesh.
how important week 18 was, right? Who did the Saints lose to week 18?
He lost to the Panthers. Me and the Panthers, we had a good game. He lost to the Panthers, though. It just knocked the Rams, and it put the Rams in first place. And now the Saints in second seed. So,
So Maximus,
it's
man.
interesting to have to play such a veteran team in the 49ers who 3 weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago wasn't. They was fighting for playoff life. They wasn't in the playoff tree, man. You gotta give the 49ers a shout out for tighten things up down the stretch and playing some good football at the right time, for peaking at the right time. And I think that could be a little scary in that game.
Let's talk matchup though. Why am I allowed to call this game the game that will set the entire playoffs off?
With the 49ers controlling the ball like they do, it's going to limit the Saints from wanting to do what they kind of do best with the launch pad
It's
stuff,
the
really.
game of the two opposites, and the simple fact that if
Full of
the
veterans.
Niners beat the Rams, so if the Niners win this game, they go straight to the Rams, and that is a very interesting matchup
That's
just
where I
because
wanted to go at. That's what I wanted to talk about
they
right there. This
just
shit.
beat the Rams, so it's like if you're the Niners, do you feel comfortable? Like go out here, win this game, you could line up, beat the team you just beat, and then you gotta. That's a good ticket to the NFC Championship right there. At that point, you should be feeling pretty confident about
With that
one more
being
game to get
said,
to the
too,
bowl.
the Saints been playing in one of the better divisions of football the whole year. So like they definitely battle tested. I'm not going to sit here and sleep on them at all. I think even with their rookie quarterback, they still got a lot of speed. But that Saints team is a team full of veterans, so that makes them real dangerous. I mean, not Saints. The 49ers team is a team full of veterans over there, and we know
Especially on
they
the
all
defense
step up.
end.
You
That
get
shit
your
is
playoff bonus. Yeah, you get your play on the offensive end too. You get your playoff bonuses and stuff. Them niggas are winning. It's already on 1,000.
Look, look.
That morale. Oh man.
When you write in the California Raisin newspaper column, when you write that, the column is this: Can the veteran 49ers young secondary hang with the young receiver core of the New Orleans Saints? That's the conversation right there. It's with both teams having some veteran presence on their team, with the Niners being more of a veteran presence team. You can say the Niners should have been a little higher on in the playoffs, like somewhere between 6-5. You know what I mean? Instead of 7, they had that type of
Niners
team
should have
where they
won
could have
they
should have won
competing
their
for the
I
division.
right.
think they were having an identity crisis. They were putting
Exactly,
Christian
and they
McCaffrey on
found
the block
themselves,
and
but they
shit.
found themselves though, Max. You know it, I know it. They found themselves, and in the sense of finding themselves, it's easy to say this. We keep screaming them. The Niners got a veteran football team over there, but this game gonna come down to, can those DBs stay with the young receiver core of
They
the
got help though.
New Orleans
You
Bosa
praying
Saints?
gonna
for
make
a
it a
three
lot easier.
second a
Bosa gonna
three
make it a lot
second Bosa
easier for
count.
them.
Yeah, you're praying for a 3 second
Yeah.
Bosa count most downs.
It's
Nine
more.
times
I
out of
think that
ten.
boils more down to Bosa. Bosa
Yeah.
continue to play the type of football he's been playing all year.
You
Hmm
don't got
Bosa been
time
a
to
top
you ain't
three
got time to take the
pass
top off.
rusher. Two in the league, he was for the most
Still
of the
got
year.
Freaky Fred running around. Safeties
Listen,
that got good. Where it's a matchup. Listen,
any team that had a superstar lineman when they played Bosa, his numbers don't look the same when he playing somebody that's in front of him that's not. The Saints got three of them up front, or at least two of them up front, and a guy that's a
too.
90 overall higher overall guy, and Ramzak that's sitting over there as well. I don't know if Bosa. I think that I'm not saying they can eliminate him. He's been too good all year to say he can be eliminated, but I think they can control it a little bit more than what we saying right now for them to still better get comfortable in their vertical game.
I mean, it's possible. The thing is, you speak so heavily of the pass rush on Bosa because once it gets going, like if it starts off early, it's very unlikely that they're going to be able to slow him down.
Right, right,
It's
right.
usually one of those things. Like now, if he starts off the game and it's real shaky, he didn't get a sack till like the second quarter. At that point, I would consider the Bosa situation handled. But if
Hmm.
Bosa come out in this first two drives and cause a quarterback hurry, a sack, tackle for like you know what I'm saying, gets his little rapport, it's gonna be a long game.
This is an interesting game right here because you're dealing with two young quarterbacks. You dealing with a veteran in the backfield, and then you got a young gunner at running back that got to be able to show that he can make things happen with one of the better linebackers in the league sitting in the middle right now for the 49ers. Like this team, 49ers team got the right pieces at the right spot. They're just young in the secondary, but that front seven on defense is solid as shit. I think they're in a good situation. I think this game comes down to matchups. And then it comes down to what quarterbacks because they're not, as much as the 49ers run the football, would y'all agree or disagree with me that they're going to have to make some type of plays in the passing game? They're going to have to make some type of big play. They need to make a big play or two in the passing game. If the running game's working, they still going to need a few plays out of the passing game. And when it comes down to it, it's Quez Watkins and Trey Lance letting that thing go, right?
I was
Um,
about to say this is kind of where the part where like not using a guy like Debo could come back and bite them because I mean
mhm, mhm,
I'm doing a couple
mhm,
two I'm doing two adjustments
mhm,
and I would feel pretty
mhm.
confident about Quez Watkins. So like
Could
with
they
that
get
being
Debo
said,
going in the playoffs, or do you think it's too late that
I
they
would
didn't use him all year, pretty much? And
I don't say you don't not try it. They got like 90 awareness. I'm trying it probably, but like if it doesn't work, don't be surprised. And I wouldn't try to stay there long. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't try to keep trying it if it just doesn't work. But at this point, it's I mean if you want to win, you try everything. If you get to that situation, you know what I'm saying? Like Quez ain't
mhm.
working, run ain't working. You got shit. Well, we still got Debo.
Right. Right. And when you look at and look, and then you can say the same thing with the Saints. Just a couple of nights ago, and on our show, we talked about Alvin Kamara having a chill out season. They said he's been nursing a hamstring all year, but like, what happens with
Yeah.
Alvin Kamara in this game? Can he be an X factor in this game?
I think when you're going against a high awareness defensive line, you gotta again attempt some carries, pass here, let AK do AK shit and see how it goes. Because in a game like this, where what you do can be matched secondary wise, so, but definitely on the front four, front seven,
Hmm.
you got to kind of be able to draw some balance to your offensive game and allow what you want to do, allow it to just flow within the offense. A playoff game is played very differently. So what I'm saying.
Yeah. All right. So with that being said, man, this is the matchup, and ain't no more weeks to advance to figure out if it's gonna be the matchup. Who you got, Max? Saints at home, or the Niners going to roll and still one?
I think it'll be Saints 35-28.
Who you got, Snake?
Man, I gotta stick in the division. Saints at home, man. Saints at home. I think this Will Levis and Saints can pull it out, man. Um, I'd like to say sneakily, I think we should keep an eye on AK, the running back, man. Could be a
A chain.
could be a surprise little piece of the game. Playoff football, so you expect a little bit differently, but I think the Saints can pull this out. But I think it'll be a close game.
Okay. All right, here's my conversation with this who wins this ball game. I think the 49ers win this game. I think all the pressure is on the Saints. We saw the Saints have a team like Buffalo Bills and dominate all regular season and get to the playoffs and did not have any success through the entire Game of Thrones in the playoffs. So I think pressure is on them. I think that's in the back of their mind. And I think they made that statement way back. And I keep going back to when they kicked the shit out of the Texans week 1. And they said, we're going to be mighty all year long. Right. So I think they already, that right there is already saying we're not that same team that had that Buffalo Bills team right now. We're not the same team. And we're going to be able to show who we are now, like we did with the Bills, but continue to show who we are later as well. I think the pressure's on them though, because in the back of their mind, they gotta understand that you ain't really get out the wild card or divisional round at all. The last time you was faced with these situations, a high overall team, everything's working for you, you playing lights out, and you get to the playoffs. And do they get the placing? I don't think the pressure is on the 49. I think they come into this game loose, because if they lose, nobody was it's not going to be front page. It should
Rolling on
be.
the
The
floor like you're
49ers
rolling on
are
a floor
the
like
49ers
Best team on
are best one of the best teams in the game, right? As far as veteran appearance and all that. But it's not going to be, we're not going to say that. We're not going to have the headlines as the 49ers lost to the Saints. Oh my God. But if the 49ers go in there and beat the Saints, that's the story. Oh my God. So the pressure is on the Saints, in my opinion. And I think the Saints is good enough, and I think he's past that where he was at with the Bills. And that he could pull the game out. But I'm going to say this. I'm going to stick with what history tells me, and the 49ers come in there and still won. I don't know what the score is going to be, because they both going to launch some things and this and that. They could score, and to be honest with you, the Saints score. If you can hold the Saints from scoring high points, then the Niners definitely got a chance to win this game. And I just think because they run the ball so well, they got a chance to make this a lower scoring game than the Saints is used to. So I'm going Saints in this game. All right, stay with the NFC right now. Now we're looking at the Lions Bucks. The last time they played, it got ugly in the second half, and the Bucks home 50 plus on the Lions right now, man. All right, first let's say Coach Falk is the Lions. Let's say Antonio is the Bucks. Both of these guys took different journeys to get to where they at to meet up right here. It sucks that they just played week 17 or 18, I think it was. They just played week 18, and a lot of I don't know what happened in that game, or was it we got a chance to play each other again right after the advance.
I was about to ask, do you think? Oh, oh my God, the timing just couldn't be better.
Get back.
uh,
That Lions coach told me he going for 21 plus. He told me he's trying air motherfuckers in the playoffs, dog.
We're
They
not
beat him in
going.
the
We're not
bubble
going.
before
We
the game.
listen. If you the Bucks and you exploded on a Lions in the second half like that, ain't it something that you could pull from them games? Like no matter what the situation was, let's say the Lions was just called the dogs off. Let's say that's what happened. But it's enough film for the Bucks to be able to be like, something worked well in this game, and let's make sure that they go and fix that. And if they don't fix it, we're gonna take advantage of it again. But if they
if
fix
you were
it, then we
playing
can
at
counter it.
if you were playing an average coach, yes, that Lions coach understood what happened in that second half. Damn near the first half. Probably could recite the game back to me in a general aspect. I would
Know
not
what I
approach
know? That
that
Lions
game
coach probably feel he had a division locked up and everything locked up, and
and just to
know
took
that
a
this could
back
be the
seat.
seed.
So I took a back seat, but I would
Yeah,
not
he didn't
approach
give a
that
fuck.
game with the soul. I would keep it in mind what was successful last game
Man, you better
and test run it
throw that regular
and
season
test run it.
game out
But
the window.
I would throw a lot of that out the window. A
That
lot
shit
of it.
don't
You
mean
got to
shit.
play your game when it gets to the playoffs versus just fuck as a user. Time and time again, it's you have to play your game.
We got
Playing and that shit can get ugly.
We got two
Not
young
like
quarterbacks in this game trying to prove themselves, man. Listen, Zach Wilson left the Jets, went to the Lions, and revived his career a little bit right now, man. He's one of three quarterbacks in the league that jumped up from stars or normals to ability guys. Um, Malik Willis is having a solid season in that Bucks offense, and what they did was they tapered their offense to match the dual threatness of Malik Willis. So his legs are definitely a key part of that game and all that. But he has the arm strength to better do some of the things they want to do. And I just think this, when it comes down to matchup in the passing game, the Lions are very young in that secondary, and the Bucks are very experienced in theirs in their receiving room. So the quarterback is going to determine what cancels each other out in that moment because young Malik Willis could be a bad playoff, have a bad playoff game, and you can't take advantage of the veteran receiver room, right? Or he come out and play lights out. And the same thing with Zach Wilson at the quarterback position. Can he take advantage of his development and where he's at right now, overall wise, and all that, and play at a high level in the playoffs? And can the Lions find a way to fix some of the things that they couldn't fix all season long, which is they giving up explosive plays, especially in a
Defense.
deep ball game.
Lions will
They
win the
also
game.
picked up on a waiver wire a really, really, really fast combine corner that ran a 4.3. They picked up a 6'4", 6'3" guy to help out in that secondary. So my question is, what adjustments do the Lions make to not get really hammered in the deep game, the deep ball game, and the passing game in this Bucks Lions ball game, Max?
I think you got to go back to the motto of the NFC and just the motto of both sides. I think will be you got to get pressure. Like you got to got to have a conversation with Aiden and Houston and understand that yes, they're young, but these guys have been doing what they've been doing all season and the season before and the sim
Baby,
season.
young but you're bad.
They gotta make plays. It doesn't have to be every play, but when it's a third
Yeah,
and this and a second and that, they gotta set the tone on some of these plays and
they
keep the
definitely got to
Bucks
show up.
off balance.
They got to fucking
They
show
gotta.
all the way
And the
up, bro.
play,
If the
they ain't got
Bucks
to
coach
get to
feels
the quarterback.
comfortable
They
with
have to
that free
contain the
phone,
quarterback as
yeah,
well.
they gotta it can get like they gotta be able to show out. And I think Drew's gotta have a big game. Um, but like he has a big game because the D line does their job in that sense. Where like gotta watch the quarterback, still respect Rashad White running the football, um, and then just generally like that getting to Malik Willis and pressures and hurry ups can kind of more often than not dumb down the fact that he's throwing to a Mike Evans, a Godwin. You had some good corners over there in Detroit, but they're not necessarily experience ready.
Experience or develop. And then again, and then the whole thing is this too, man. It's playoff football, and is the Lions going to figure it out in the run game? Like because that's going to be vital to what they do, man. Because if they can't run the ball, they're liable to throw you 4 picks, somewhere between four
Face
picks or
Wins
more,
Wins
because they're going to
Face
take the chances,
wins
right?
Lions win game.
Um, so my question would be, can they get the run game going over there? Can that young stud ass front four they got up there? Can they get pressure on Malik Willis, keep him contained, and not let him, break the pocket and make plays with his legs? Not only with his legs, roll out, get some things going with his arm as well. His matchups all over the place because if
And
I ask
quiet
you
is
this, Mike Evans, what DB in the line secondary that you feel as though can match up with Mike Evans? Is there one? Anybody? I mean, you did go pick up a 6'3" guy,
Stop the
waiver
deep
wire
ball.
rise,
Henderson.
right?
I feel like I gotta go. I mean, you could try that. I gotta you like C.J. Henderson has to come through.
But who do we have to come through on? Mike Evans or
Mike, because
Godwin?
I look at Clark Phillips and I think that he's got to be responsible for Godwin.
Now I'm gonna keep it
You can't
100.
put
Nope.
you can't put
This what
Clark
I'm gonna tell you.
Phillips
This is what I'm gonna tell
on
you. Hear
Mike
me out. Hear
Evans.
me out. This is what I'm gonna tell you. I'm putting Amir Speed, fresh out of waiver sign and fresh off a practice squad. I'm putting Amir Speed on Mike Evans. I'm putting Phillips on the little Thompson guy that's been getting busy for the Saints in the slot. That guy. I'm putting Phillips on him, and I'm lining. What's the guy he got from the Panthers? What's that corner name?
DJ Henderson.
Henderson
Hazelwood.
is
Oh,
Henderson
Henderson.
going to cover Godwin. And we locking down, and we manning up too, and we locking down, and that's how it's going. I'm putting Phillips in the slot to take care of that young top rookie on rookie, and then I'm going motherfucking Henderson on Godwin and 6'4" versus 6'5" over there.
I just think
Know them Bucks gonna
yeah,
fling it around, so
quiet
they
is
all
kept
gonna get
though.
some. They all gonna get some chances.
the Bucks fucking defense got them things on them. Like we ain't even get to the Bucks defense.
Exactly.
They got them things on them still. Like
And it start with the man in the middle, Hawaii
Big
guy, wherever
shitty.
you got big shitty and then big
Big
shit
shit
stain
of
in the
vain.
middle. That's going look. Can the rookie running back get loose with him just controlling the middle because he covering both A gaps right away. You're not getting up the middle running on him, and if you don't, get him double team, he's going to be able to catch you on stretch and powers and things like that as well. He definitely controls the line of scrimmage right in the middle. And then they got abilities and speed everywhere. I mean, come on, let's not act like they got one. They don't got one of the faster linebackers in the league sitting at middle linebacker, and they got some pieces over there and some ability guys over there, some veterans too. And and you will want the Lions. If you're the Lions, you want to better try to establish some type of run game
Is this a new
and
Bucks
not be one
team?
dimensional. This is going to be a good matchup again. I don't think we're going to see the score we saw week 18 at all. I think this is a good matchup right now. So we'll start here. Who do you got, Max?
I just think the Lions are a little ahead of themselves in a good way. I think the Bucks pull this out.
Got the Bucks winning this game.
I think the Bucks pull this out. It's gonna be like three, 24, 27.
Mm. Who you got,
Good
Snake?
defense. Good defense will be played, but I just think the Bucks they'll have a couple plays just because of ability here, ability there, some awareness here, some awareness there.
As
I
a
think it'll
coach,
come down to
that
that.
has a history to playoff Falky, I gotta go with playoff Falky. Yeah, man, I'm gonna playoff, but it's.
Non-stop crazy. Fall Ghana era the
Man, I
Bucks
think we
face
see a
with
good
tears
game.
of
A lot
joy.
of passing and stuff go around, but I don't put a lot of stock in that Week 18 game just with them per se.
I think the
But
Bucks are in a good situation. They should be comfortable. The problem is they do got to travel to Detroit, and
yeah,
I think the coach is going to be locked in. I do think Falk wins this ball game as well. All right. Mm-mm-mm. Lions, Bucks. That's an interesting game. Yo, the NFC, the first two teams we talked
I
about
was
is
about to
must
say
watch
both
right
Nebraska.
them
away.
games is fire. Oh my god. Oh my god.
They must watches right now, like must watch. How about this game right here though? Now I'm going to have a long conversation, and
There's
some
history
shit. Look,
here. I love
right,
it. I
and
playoff
look,
football.
The
and
Eagles
look.
are
Playoffs.
Eagles are favorite, dog.
I gotta start
Pass
this
the
conversation
underdog.
off with this. Please don't let my confidence or my conversation fuck with your insecurities. Please don't. But look, let's just call it what it is. You jumped on the game and got the best team on the game. Period. One of the hottest teams to pick at the time you picked them. Super Bowl Eagles in real life, overall shot up high sky and all that. Your whole division was over there pretty much getting their asses whipped all year long, and you escaped that division, barely. But it's the second season for a veteran team right now. So we can do exactly what we said with Falk, and that's wipe that week 18 out, wipe the regular season out, start the Eagles from scratch right now. I need to see more. I need to see something. I need to see, you get a top team, you got to do what top teams do, and that show you dominant and show who the hell you are over there, right? Because the Panthers going to tell you right away he overachieving right now. That Panthers team shouldn't be doing what they doing right now, getting some of the wins they got right now. I mean, they got signature wins. They beat the Rams, they beat the Saints. I'm quite sure. I mean, they swept the Bucks. I mean, they got signature wins going on right now. Can you say the same with the Eagles? Do you have any signature wins over there? Or did you win the games you were supposed to win? Right? So now you're in the playoffs right now, but one of the best teams in the fucking playoffs right now, and a team that we said should be playing for a Super Bowl in year one. Can you find it somewhere inside yourself to pull it out and go ahead and do what you're supposed to be doing when you decided to pick that team? And then not only pick that team, have a hell of a draft, and then bring the best running back from out of the draft on your team and the best running back in the league on your team. Can you get it the fuck done?
Yeah.
You got receivers over there that you're not even using, and one of them is one of the best receivers in the league. Can you get it the fuck done right now? Because if the Eagles go home wild card round week 1 in the playoffs, wild card round week 1, that's the biggest ultimate fail I've seen in a long time in any of my leagues.
Man,
Now,
all his wins. He got 6-0 in his division. Most of his wins to division games. That
I
is
mean,
true. That's crazy.
yeah, what's he? 11 and or 12 and what is he?
11-6.
Ain't his fault. A lot of mud teams was like loose. Oh man,
With that being
Listen,
said, with that being
new
said though,
season.
with that being said though, it's still a new season, and when you go to this roster, it's still a new season, and when you go to this roster, you shouldn't be. There's nothing you can just sneeze at right now. Like if I'm
Oh
him, I'm
shit.
comfortable at what I got over here. You got Jalen Hurts, who's a 92 with the green arrows up. I don't know what he came in the league starting off at, but he's a superstar. All right, you got your quarterback. All right, anybody else disagree with me where he has a
My
quarterback?
bad, y'all. We got a game kicking off already, man.
It's probably the Lions and the Bucks right away.
Saints and Niners.
Mm.
Saints and Niners.
All right, look at this
Nah,
backfield,
it's the
man.
Lions. It's the Lions and Bucks.
Oh, he
The
posted. He
Saints.
posted the
He just
game for
posted
him.
it.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
line. All right, we won
So
game.
look,
First game kicking off.
look,
Bucks and Lions.
look. Any of y'all scared of Jalen Hurts? I mean, what I mean by scared, I mean scared that like knowing him in the playoffs, you should be comfortable. If I'm the Eagles coaching staff, I'm comfortable with Jalen Hurts as my signal caller, my QB1. Would you agree or disagree, fellas?
He definitely should be comfortable.
Okay, you made the move for Derrick Henry, and you picked up B. John Robinson, man. You picked up
Man,
hero, right? And B. John stands for hero, Greek
game
hero.
update. First player game. The Bucks fumble the ball. Lions recover on the first offensive possession. The Lions get the ball and just outside of their red zone.
All right, so Derrick Henry, B. John Robinson, and Kenneth Gainwell is all in your backfield right now. We got a solid backfield going on
You
right
already know
now.
what I'm saying about Derrick Henry. So listen,
What you saying? Talk. This ain't the
you
time to
already know.
not
I
talk. Talk.
traded. I traded for Derrick Henry and the other shit. Derrick Henry is part of the three things that made me get to a bowl. One of the things was a quarterback. Well, he already had that, and he's got Derrick Henry. And then the last thing is a receiver. I mean, but he's got AJ Brown in a sense, whereas year one playing, where AJ Brown is, damn
Let's
near
look. Let's
unguardable
let's
unless you
look at
got the
this.
top of the top on him.
Let's look at this receiver room and look at this is what's coming into the playoffs. AJ Brown. When you click on AJ Brown, let's see what type of year he had over there. 38 catches, 689, 86 yards, 3 touchdowns. For one of the best receivers in the league. Three receiving touchdowns. I don't know. I don't care if AJ Brown got $100 million contract for the Eagles. You know he's not happy right now. Devontae Smith, 90 overall, 32 catches, 502 yards, 3 touchdowns. So they not their best receivers right now, although they're their best receivers. It looked like they spent more time with Nathan Dell, who they got out of free agency, and they made him the guy with 91 catches for 1199, 13 touchdowns right now. That is that is unbelievable. That's what's up. Good shit. Nathan Dell, I'm glad Tank going somewhere that's going shit. You got Cedric Tillman, another diaper dandy over here, and he's at 41 catches, 660 yards, so 8 touchdowns. So they value their young talent more than they value the other talent. The question is, though, they can come into the playoffs and still be all right by using the veterans on his team
That's
if they
the
want to
like,
jump.
that's the flip the switch that people got to know
Shaq
what they
Davis
can do with that
only
shit.
had 8 catches on the year for 96 yards, 2 touchdowns. Shaq Davis, baby, Megatron. The tight end room. Now I ain't gonna look at stats and everything, but then you look at this tight end room. You got Goddard, you got Grant Calcaterra, Whitehead, and Yaba. But when the Eagles get busy at, you start looking at some of the things over here, and you go bang. 88 overall left tackle, Landon Dickerson, 85 overall. Center superstar Cam Jurgens. Right guard Xavier Newman. Right tackle Lance Johnson, and he's a superstar. Look on the D line, Brandon Graham, superstar. Young player right there. Josh Sweat, 87 overall. At D tackle, Jordan Davis, X Factor. Fletcher Cox, superstar. You know what I mean? Like, this defensive line is off the hook. Hassan Reddick is a fucking animal. You still got Will Anderson with the Red Arrows going on right now, but he's sitting here on X Factor. And you got a guy that's not even like this, and he probably couldn't do nothing about that himself though. But it sucks. But you don't want to have a guy that's not a guy that could cover. He's a strictly outside linebacker that's an edge rusher on shutdown. That sucks. But that's what happens when you don't take advantage of it. I don't know. Maybe he didn't unlock until after week 10
After
through
week,
11. Yeah,
yeah.
so that's not on him. All right. So N'Kobe Dean, Mikael Jones, Cameron McGroom, Robert Woods, your my player, superstar, and then you look at the secondary: Slay, Bradbury, Maddox, Banks, young Dante Banks. You got Greedy Williams over here as well, and the secondary made up for losing homeboy Chauncey for JL Skinner from Boise State, big time 6'4", 209 dog, and Jordan Battle be balling out. You got Terrell Edmonds over here. Reed Blankenship, guys you can develop. Man, look, I like this roster. Again, this is one of the best rosters, and this team can have a second life in the playoffs. But they're going up against a team that's going to run the ball, and they're having really good success with their number one rookie wide receiver. And don't forget, DJ Moore and Terrence Marshall was in that receiving room as well. If the Panthers get the run game going and they get to use their passing game off the run in the play action game and things like that, this team will be hard to beat. Hard to beat. Really, real talk. They'll be hard to beat. But the Panthers got to travel to the brotherly love in Philadelphia. Max, man, I'm coming to you right away. Who you got?
These are two familiar coaches.
And there's a rival between these two too, bro.
It's too like I'm saying, it's too like
Y'all be trying to create rivals out of
they
shit.
used
Niggas
to
gotta
they
win
used
games and create rivals.
Friends
Y'all be
of
trying to get niggas to talk shit.
Hold
they
on. What you
used
mean?
to
What you mean? What you mean? Y'all a
How's it a
rival? So what you?
what make it a rival?
Oh, so you saying he
I'm
don't
just
win it?
asking. I'm
He
just
don't.
no.
He
I'm
don't.
asking you. What
I,
makes it a rival?
I don't know. All types of shit can lead up to y'all rivaling. Like shit,
Oh,
talking to
all
each
right.
other, don't like each other. History. You know what I mean? Being in the same
I mean
division
you did
before, things
So
like
say
what's the
that.
hit? What's the
I ain't gonna
history?
lie.
I
I ain't gonna
don't
lie
know the
What's
though.
the
history.
history though?
There's a
I
lot of
don't know the
history.
Max,
history,
what's
but I
the
Rob
know.
history, Max?
Rob used to be the Eagles and you was the Cowboys when I was the Giants. That's when we
Mm-hmm.
first met in the same division. That's also when the I have a 50 burger statement came.
that boy
Can't
home.
forget about that. Then
I'm just.
then we ended up
Nah, I'm just trying to get Snake to not sugarcoat what he trying to say. He pretty
I'm
much saying
asking
it can't be
y'all.
a rival if he can't even get a win when we play. That's what he's saying. He don't beat me, so it
I
ain't no
asking like
rival.
what make it a rivalry? You just
I
said
think
it, Max.
So he
I
I
ain't
talking
think
say
when
it. You
shit.
we
said,
I think when we engage in shit talking back and forth, that can make it a rivalry just because like
Hmm.
okay, all
that's
shit
the
talking.
yeah
Wins and
shit to
losses
shit.
don't matter. Just shit
I mean
talking make shit rivalry. All right.
they matter because I mean that's the name of the game in a sense. But like if you're not in a situation where you count wins or losses every time you line up, it's just like I want to whoop this nigga ass. And I think everybody's got individual players that they coaches that when they line up they like shit. If I can put 50, I'm going for it.
All right. Gotcha.
Nah, all Snake trying to do is say, it ain't a rival when I tell a nigga I'm gonna put 50 up on him and do it. It ain't a rival when every time we play, I pretty much win the game. I don't think Rob see it that way.
I ain't man. Cool.
I think Rob thinks he's
I
gonna
was just
come.
asking what make a. I mean, he should. He got. I mean, hey, he favored. We going into Philly, and they one of the best teams, Super Bowl of what teams. He favored. And home field
Friends of
advantage.
The pressure is definitely on Rob. So like
The pressure is definitely on the Eagles.
yeah, like it
I
has
like
no
it.
choice but to be on the Eagles. So I
I
mean
just was asking what do y'all consider a rivalry? That's all. I just so when we as we talking about teams. That's all.
there's a lot of there's a lot
I
of
got you.
different forms of rivalries in a sense. I think when y'all have the consistency that they didn't me and you win the same division twice, so our rivalry is a little bit different. But like when you had the consistency, you were still playing Rob a good amount, just like because I remember I was playing Rob a good amount when we faced the NFC
Right.
North and shit like that.
Like
So it was just
shit.
it's been consistent, very consistent. I think consistency
I
brews
had to face Rob a couple of times in the playoffs and in Game of
and
Thrones as well. Damn
exactly
near every year. Like I
the
ain't.
consistency between it can get very beefy. It makes it that's the Titans and the Ravens that they consistency. They kept running to each other at the same fucking spot. Like, yo, I'm fucking tired of matching up with these niggas. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I'm tired of matching up with these niggas, and that shit just started to build up. You guys stomping on the field and all types of wild shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be a fucking matchup though. I love the NFC. This shit
And
make
when
me
you
miss
and
the
the brother, when
NFC a little
you
bit,
go to
man.
Philadelphia, and that stadium gonna be rocking, that crowd gonna be talking shit,
Rocking. Oh my god.
motherfucking. And can the Panthers come in there and get that dub in your opinion, Max?
Um. Ah.
Bradbury,
And brotherly love.
Maddox.
And brotherly love. Mac Jones and the running back. Quentin Johnson. JC. This is a tough one, bro. Um. I had my reasonings for the.
That
He
fan base in
tripping. He
I
tripping
had
Philadelphia,
like
my.
shit.
I
that
had my
fan
This
base in
man
reasonings.
tough, man. Y'all
Philadelphia,
niggas be talking shit. Y'all
that
niggas
fan
tripping.
base in
Fuck out
Philadelphia
of here.
is a tough fan base, man. If the Eagles lose this game, they ain't gonna be screaming fire the head coach. They're gonna be screaming wholesale the coaches.
I,
Eagles,
t-
look, they gonna
the
be going
pressures.
off in that jump. They don't got no draft, no first round draft pick neither. Oh my gosh. Derrick Henry up
The
for
pressure's
resign.
gotta go. I gotta pull one of them ESPN analysts. The pressure's on the Eagles. They're the favorites. I gotta go Eagles. I'm gonna go Eagles.
Mm.
I think the pressure on Snake, little cocky ass right now, cause he talking shit like that. He ain't even worried about that game.
Nah, man.
Eagles by 10.
Man, Snakefield disrespected. Y'all motherfuckers disrespectful. Fuck y'all talking about.
How
What
we
makes shit like this
Hey,
a
disrespectful?
what makes
this
it a
is one of
rivalry? I'm just asking you, what
this
makes it a
is
rivalry?
this is the best. We
When
already said
Rob
what
last
makes it a
time
rivalry.
when
You
Rob
know what
last
makes
time
it
beat
a
me?
you know what
When
makes it a
Rob
rival?
I'm
This
carrying that.
right here
When
You
makes
his
it a
know
last
what?
time
rivalry.
beat me? Now I'm gonna be cocky. When his last time beat me? Oh, all
I
right,
I
don't
fuck
wouldn't
fucking
y'all
know.
know.
talking.
I'm not the counter.
Exactly,
I'm not the
exactly.
counter. Yeah, I don't do that.
I
I
don't.
can't.
Oh
I
my bad.
can't.
You know I think, man,
I
when I
can't.
was
I
losing out
can't.
when I was out of town one time, it's
The
been quite
fact
some time.
this would
That
make it a
song.
rival. This would make it a rival. The fact that your temper
Oh,
just
cause he got the best
rose.
team.
Nah, ain't nobody
This
say
right
that. They don't
here.
got the
Cause
This
y'all
best
niggas
team.
this right here
disrespectful,
makes it
They
a
don't
man.
got the best
rivalry,
team.
man.
The
I
Y'all
fact
love
that
niggas
your
this.
temperature,
disrespectful.
Playoff
the fact that your
football.
temperature is rising right now makes that a
All right,
rival.
career day.
Playoff
Fuck it, career
football.
day. Watch.
Okay, career
Oh
Fuck
day.
y'all talking
You
shit.
out of here.
calling shit right now?
Ah,
Damn.
Yeah, it's like that.
playoff
Y'all niggas grown, man.
football.
Damn, the
Ready for
Jaggies getting
rivalry.
disrespected right now. What the fuck?
Playoff
Nah, man, it's y'all.
football.
It's y'all niggas. Y'all succeeded. Y'all keep over there talking shit. Y'all
Play,
succeeded. That's what y'all wanted to hear somebody talk shit. All right.
Skipping
I ain't say
Sheridan.
who.
Playoff football.
Mm-mm-mm.
I don't know if it's a wide
Like, where
cornerback
that
over
nigga
there that
at?
can
He
hang with
like
that
really
boy.
out here disrespecting this nigga Rob, bro. Rob, man, you better tell this nigga he lined up at the 50. What the fuck is wrong with him?
He
It
Talking
told
won't
me
like
be.
that.
It won't be long.
he already told me line up at the 50.
It won't be
After
long.
7 tomorrow.
Oh wow.
Oh Lord.
Oh wow.
Next, actually
Say he ain't
next.
playing tonight.
I'm no longer speaking on this game. I'm no longer speaking on this game.
All right,
Next,
man. Come on, man.
next.
Go ahead. Y'all be trying to start shit.
Next. And who you got? Yeah, we
But
can
the
get off of that. After.
Eagles is favorite, man. They been
Who you
favored all
got, Ed?
season, bro.
I don't fucking got nobody. We gotta wait till after 7 to get my answer.
Fuck.
I'm trying to
Oh
kill
my
my man
god. This
Rob,
shit.
bro.
This shit funny, man.
Yo, so in the
NFC's
AFC,
fucking great though. Oh my
the
god, I
NFC
love
side
NFC.
off the hook, and niggas is already at it right now, lined up playing. How about this though? Bengals, Jaguars. I like this Jaguar football team, bro. I
Shout
ain't
out
gonna
to
hold you.
Mark.
Jaguars
Shout
made it
out
in the
to
fucking
Mark.
playoffs, bro.
Shout out to Mark.
This is first time. This is the first playoff appearance in a while.
I think he
In
Yeah,
had one
quite
with
we
some
Game of
got.
Thrones.
time.
Didn't he get
Yeah,
one in Game
yeah,
of Thrones?
yeah. He got one of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
The last one we just
Okay.
played. He didn't get to play
We
the
still
game
gotta
though.
give him. Still gotta give him a shout out for making the playoffs, man.
Shout out to Mark.
Man, my so-called ass division got two niggas in the offs right now. What are we talking about over here, cuz? The fuck?
Yeah, the
AFC some
AFC
shit.
is
What they
AFC
were
is
saying looked like the AFC
like
ass over there.
that's why I said I missed the NFC. This shit terrible. I missed
Oh
the
God.
NFC bad as hell.
Ain't shit.
But listen, I ain't gonna lie, these Jags are sneaky. Nobody
Now, don't
really
try
ain't
to
gonna
change the
talk.
subject with that. I missed the
Niggas in
NFC. I missed
the
the
I
niggas
do
in the
miss the
NFC
niggas
and
in the
shit.
NFC. What?
The fuck?
niggas
Like
in the
you
NFC comp.
AFC.
I was
you
saying
like
last
that.
year the NFC comp is man.
Niggas in the
Yeah, I
AFC
miss the
building their
You
teams
NFC.
all the
all
way like
year.
that.
Look at the
Hope
stats.
hope them
The
Texans
NFC
let
was
them Texans
nice.
be on your roster next year and talk that. And I wish I was in the
Nah, hey,
NFC.
look,
That's still not gonna say I don't miss the
I'm gonna make
NFC.
you go to fuck to the NFC. Watch this.
look
You
at
We
gonna
ain't
trade
going
teams.
nowhere.
You
oh,
We
gonna
ain't
look at
trade
the
worried about
teams.
stats.
that.
Fuck out of
We
Niggas in
not
the
here.
worried about
AFC building
that.
their teams, statting out throughout the regular season. All the stat leaders in the AFC.
Statty
Statty
Patty.
games over that zone.
I'm
Oh my
like,
Fuck
yeah,
out of
I'm
gosh.
here. Y'all
like
niggas
that.
ass,
That
man.
that that don't make me happy. That's why I say that don't excite me. That shit don't do nothing for me. Fucking Statty Patties get fitted clip,
Look,
fitted clip.
niggas is talking shit. I hope Shane watching right now talking about
Fitted
Statty Patty to
clip.
get you a 50 pick. He just put 50 on the Dolphins.
Oh,
Yo, y'all niggas is
Oh,
in your bag right now and shit.
it's not just for that week. You see the schedule? Fitted
oh,
clip.
oh God.
We gotta beat a couple teams when it matters. We get there. We get there when we get there. Niggas ain't gonna talk
Yeah.
think the Kansas City is sweet though. That's never the motive.
Hell.
Ain't no way.
Last time I checked, we was talking about the Bengals and the Jaguars and how that
You
Jaguars
cut
front
me
seven
off. You
fucking
said
off the
you
hook.
said nah, you said don't change the subject, so we ain't change it. Now we can talk
Yep.
about talk about the Jags and the Bengals. Like I said, this Mark team is sneaky. These Jags are sneaky. Do I think they're gonna beat the Bengals? Not necessarily, but I don't think the Bengals gonna sit there and walk in and just like
This
smack the
about
shit.
to
I
be
mean,
the
I don't.
first time D West is going to have to play a game where he got to feel the internet presence
To see what
now.
he been putting everybody else through.
D West going to
And
lose this game.
and he better
He
stream
really
and
could.
niggas better stream this game.
I mean, it's Marks because he's away. He's a 7 seed, but he really could though. Like, I don't think
Nah,
people
D West gonna have
understand.
to
Like,
stream
You
it.
going to want D West to stream that. You don't want Mark to stream that from
I
Germany.
don't, I
Hey,
don't. But
D
we
West
might
got to
have to
stream that game, bro.
D West need to tell him that somebody need to talk to D West
We
and
telling D
make sure
West now. D West, I
this nigga is he
suggest you
watching?
stream that game, D West. Man, D West, I
You know D
suggest you
West
stream
be.
that game, bro.
It's 11 o'clock. You know where D
Hey,
West
D
at?
West, I got a fat girl that weighed 340. She came in with 2 Big Macs, 2 large milkshakes,
Damn.
3 apple pies, and a
Damn.
large
Not the
fries.
apple
But the apple
pies.
pie is only two
She
for a
say
dollar.
she,
How the fuck she get three?
The
man, look,
three. She ate
she
one
ate
on the
one before she
way.
got out before she got out the store, bro.
She ate one on the way.
Hey, look, she trying to watch his stream. She gonna bring all that. You gotta stream that game, D West.
She gonna be while he playing the game, he playing Mark. She gonna be right next to him to my. You want me to rub the back of your neck while you playing the
Oh,
game? Pass the fucking Pepsi, D West.
you
God
called
damn.
me over here to play the game, D West. I
Uh,
thought we was gonna help me with these
Donald,
rolls over here.
Donald, Donald, hand me the McDonald's. Hand me the French fries, Donald.
D West could really lose this game though. I don't think niggas understand.
Mark
Mark done
linebacker
won.
core is
Mark
good.
done won some games too. Like he done won some
That
games, big games.
secondary is good, and Mark is playing good football with Trevor Lawrence.
Lawrence.
If Mark is not
This
turning the ball
stream.
over, Mark is winning that ball game. I'm dead ass serious. I got Mark winning this game. I don't got D West winning this thing. I got Mark winning this
The
shit
thing
first
is,
playoff
Mark.
game.
I just think the turnovers could put Mark in the hole. I think he could, like I said, I think he could push D West to like a 14-10 situation, and just too many turnovers in the second half. You know, I don't know if the momentum bar is more so what it really is. Once that momentum gets swaying too far away, I think things just start to get a little unfortunate just from Mark and his style of play at times. Um, but this is to me one of the you know it's a clear like a favor in the upset in a sense in to to me. So excuse me. I think it could be a potential upset. I still say the odds is like 60-40 though for the Bengals.
Mm-mm-mm.
I ain't gonna do that. It's year one. D West gonna play more so in year one than any other. So the Bengals gonna win this game.
If D West
We
win
got
this
the
game, though,
Lions.
if D West win this game, look out for them, bro. If he win this game, look out for them in the wild card round. That's all I'm gonna say.
We're gonna give a score update in this game, man. 21-14. Lions. Lions with the ball on a 50. They up 21-14. 4 minutes left in the second quarter. So we look like we in the beginning makings of a shootout over here.
What did I call? I called 27. I called 27
I just know
24.
it's gonna be.
All
I
right,
just know it's
Antonio.
gonna be high, some scoring over here. Todd kind of got that free
How
form
about
passing shit
how
down.
about the divisional matchup between the Patriots and the Dolphins?
I thought they would have swapped, but they both lost, so everything stayed the same. I didn't thought that was gonna be the case.
Dolphins swept the Patriots. That's why
Oh,
Hmm.
I didn't know that. Oh
during the
shit.
regular season. So
Oh shit. Pressure all on
that's
Dolphins
the
then.
interesting part. It's hard to beat a team 3 times, but all the pressure's on the Dolphins. Like the Patriots away, the Dolphins like the Eagles. Like all the pressure in the world's on them, bro. They the Super Bowl favorite. They're one of the 3 Super Bowl favorite teams in favor to go to Super Bowl this year. With that being said, man, I think we could be. I think this could be an upset. Um,
It
Team
is
never
hard
want to
to
be
beat.
losing right before you go in the playoffs. Just come off a loss. They done swept them twice. Um,
Who's the
uh,
pressure on more, the Patriots
Pressure's on
over?
the Dolphins.
I
Pressure's
agree.
definitely
I
on
do
Dolphins.
agree. I
Yeah.
do agree. The Patriots.
All the pressure in the world. The Dolphins is a win now already team. They win. They win now. They traded picks to go get Ramsey to win now.
Hmm.
The
Um,
Dolphins, like Snake said, the Dolphins and the Eagles are in similar situations to me.
yeah.
Yeah, I do got them. Should be playing the Super Bowl one, for real. But is it gonna happen? Who knows? But yeah, I agree with you guys. The Dolphins have the pressure on them for sure. But who you picking to win the game though?
Let me go look at these
Come back to
games.
that one.
Hold on. Let me go look at these games. I gotta go see how
I just
close because
look.
I ain't know he swept them. I
I'm
ain't
just
even know he
really
swept them.
thinking. I'm just really thinking the Patriots is a little bit of a different team. It's a different season now, so
Hmm.
they got it. They're a little bit of a better team. The Dolphins come out the better team. Period. One of the best teams on the game.
Week 4
Nothing
lost
like the
50,
Panthers.
55-48. Lost by a touchdown in week 4. Lost by a good amount in week 13. Got a little away from
Ew.
them in that game. 66 to 33. I think that's it. 66 to 35.
Damn.
Got a little away from them that game. Bryce Young had 8 touchdowns, 1 pick.
Oh man, keep performing like
Um,
that. It's hard to pick against them again. I ain't gonna
yeah,
hold
I'm
it.
like, I
It might
mean,
just be a matchup thing.
it's a yeah, it's tough. I think for the Patriots right now. Like, I think Coach Hoodie is a great coach. In a sense of like playing him the third time, it is not going to be easy. But I just don't think he'll be able to necessarily maybe overcome certain things just due to roster. Honestly, like it just gets down to the get down. Like he's good, and he's brought this Patriots team. Like I would say the Patriots, the Jags, Carolina are the 3 like teams where it's like they kind of shouldn't be here. I would say the
Even the
Jags.
Titans.
I would
I
say
mean,
the
the
I mean the
Jags
Titans
supposed to
because
be
but
there.
the Texans were kind of kneeled. The Colts kneeled this season, so that's why I didn't say the
I
Titans
mean,
because
the Jags is a better team than the Titans, though. To be honest, overall,
overall,
especially after you get rid of Derrick Henry and
Derrick
Malik
Henry,
Willis.
yeah, I'll agree with that. I'll agree with
And we
that.
talking users, so like, I mean, just off sheer team, if you're looking at teams, especially after you get rid of Derrick Henry, you'd expect, not looking at no user, you'd expect the Jags or the Colts to actually win that division.
I mean, yeah, but then that's where the user part comes into
The
play,
user
where
part
I
coming
say
to
like,
play.
cause
So
and just knowing that he kind of had the same situation as the Eagles as far as is guaranteed at least 4 wins out the division. I don't know what the
he
Jags. I don't know if he
guarantees
split or
6
not.
wins.
I don't know if he
Or
split with the Jags or not. Honestly, so I wouldn't know
he
about
stole a
that
win. He
situation.
stole a win from me.
The Jags is not. Last I said, the Jags.
The net beat me. Hey,
Hey, D West got to go against it.
look,
It's a
he got to
wild
deal
card.
with
Yeah,
that. I ain't got to
yeah,
see.
you got to deal. You got to deal with that. Look, that's what I'm saying. Like, look,
Nah.
all it's playoffs. Everything is off on the table. Everything. That too is on the table.
Hey, it's playoffs, so y'all know, just so everybody know, it is 24 hours, and you liable to get advanced on if you don't play because it'll get voted on. And then if for some reason the away team can't stream, the home team is the stream. So D West, Mark can't stream over there. He oversees. So we're just letting you know. Hopefully you watching, you streaming. But man, I can't pick him, man. You gotta get that joint to the Bengals, man. You gotta give it to D West.
Oh yeah, I'm
It's
still
not like
going D
his year.
West.
It's
I
not
just
like
think
his year
Mark.
2 or year 3 when he lacking. He get the slacking. He normally play. He normally invested in involved season 1. You
I
know what I
definitely still
mean?
pick D West. I just think Mark's not. It's not like I said. It's not going to be a cakewalk game. Mark gonna go in there and
Big
make
girl
work
sitting on
for it.
his lap,
Oh
As far as
no,
eating them French
Dolphins,
fries.
Patriots, I got to go Dolphin by default.
man! I think the Jaguars win that game. I think the Patriots can win the game, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't really. I can't. This
I
is a
don't know if
must
the
watch
Patriots can
game.
beat that, overcome that team like
Mm,
That's what I'm saying.
That
mm.
Dolphins team is impressive. It's impressive.
I want to give a lot of credit to the coach because I know what Hoodie's capable of, and that's why I say he's capable of winning. But I just like I don't think he'll be able to overcome certain things. He hasn't really shown that he can in a sense. When Bryce had the stats that he had in those 2 wins that they did have, regular season doesn't go out the window when it's a divisional game. You have to build off of what you did successful during those regular
Pick.
seasons because you know that they
Hoodie
should be
winning bet.
expecting it.
Vikings.
Hoodie.
14-24, Lions, 30 seconds left and a
Before
half.
half,
Yeah, and the Bucks got the ball on their own 24. 2 timeouts, 30 seconds. I don't know who get the ball at half. Oh, Lions get ball at half because I think the Bucks fumbled on that first possession.
yeah, that's what you said. Mm-mm-mm.
All right, I think he fumbled coming out the gate.
All right, fellas. The last matchup on here is the Chiefs traveling to Tennessee to take on the Tennessee Titans. You got
Max already laughed him out. So go ahead,
the
talk about it,
air raid
Max.
versus the air raid. How you feel about this game, Max? Got to go into this game and play. How you feel?
Feel good. I ain't gonna lie. Like, gotta stop Pat Mahomes. It's not easy. Um, and on his end,
Max gonna
Hey,
hold the
good,
dot.
it's pretty top heavy on
good
who we
play,
have to
Charles.
stop.
Shit.
It's pretty top heavy on who we have to top. We just went against similar talent in Miami, so defensively we're feeling good. Got to go out there and play solid football, limit turnovers, and let Pat Mahomes do Pat Mahomes shit. Get out there with a W.
It's gonna be interesting though, because you do got some slinger rounds. It's gonna be the air show, right? It's gonna be the air show. I don't know what type of run game they got over there in Tennessee, but they do got,
When the last time McCoy made the
they didn't
odds?
fling that thing around, boy. You said when the last time you made the odds, McCoy. I feel mad as hell. Let's go, full tell him. Nigga, I'm in
What
the odds,
happened?
you not. He told McCoy when the last time you made the odds, because
What
McCoy said,
McCoy say?
he said something. Must have said he picked you or some shit. I don't know. But
Just wondering.
can the young receivers get it done over there against a young secondary? Simple as
Let me
that.
go
Like,
look on this because I forget jokers be getting sneaky in the comments over there.
hmm
Go look over here. Look at some
man,
comments.
I
Hey,
don't be
not
liking
having
that shit
Texas
to echo. I be
bagging.
forgetting.
Max going ahead.
Just wonder how you gonna win the
Oh,
game.
he said he was talking. Just wonder how you gonna win that game.
Who said that, McCoy?
Ain't no
hmm
rival. Yeah, and start playing.
All right, how about
Lions win. Who's the Bucks? Lions win big.
let's go give a shout out to the award winners, fellas, man. Let's go give a shout out to the award winners, man. Let's go give a shout out to those that won awards.
Why you
Coach of the
done this
year, Craig
season?
Williams. Finally got it right. See what happens when we start
Man,
over. 17-0 coach, regular season undefeated. They are 17
You
and
give
0.
no players a mouth.
gotta get them Chargers.
Oh, salute.
Congratulations for going undefeated out here too. Shit.
Mm-hmm. Undefeated regular
Tough.
season got the motherfucking coach Craig Williams sitting at number week. AFC player Xavier X-Man Smith wins the award in the AFC. NFC, you got Trey Palmer wins the Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Nick Bosa. Balling
I
out,
didn't
balling out,
tank.
say no
I
more
was
game.
out
Balling out, that's that.
of
Yep.
town.
Mm-hmm. Go again. Evacuations. Nick Bosa brings home Defensive Player of the Year in the
Damn.
That's
NFC.
always the excuse face with
But
tears
I
of
might have
joy.
stole that bit. I was trying.
You
Will
got it.
McDonald had a sack.
Don't worry
1, 2,
about
3.
me. Worry
So
about
anyway,
Mahomes.
mm, mm, worry about
What is
Mahomes.
going on in the
They
chat?
going
Oh my
crazy
God.
on it there.
What
So
is going
anyway,
on?
Will McDonald, Diaper Dandy, brings home a Defensive Player of the Year award trophy right there. Shout out to
See what
Will
I'm talking
McDonald.
about? That's crazy.
Offensive
And he
Rookie of the Year
passed Joey
goes to
Bosa.
Xavier Smith. He locks that in to bring his second trophy
Easy.
home.
Easy.
NFC,
Damn.
Trey Palmer, Rookie of the Year. But
Damn, bro.
I
I
want.
had just 2 or 3 on that list. That's crazy.
Mm-mm-mm.
Fuck you, Fuck you, T.
Nick is
Yeah.
really ass face with tears of
Damn.
joy.
Mm-mm-mm. All right, so Offensive Rookie of the Year in the NFC goes to Trey Palmer. AFC Offensive Xavier Smith. That's his third trophy. Defensive Rookie of the
All
Year
the
goes to Will
trophies.
McDonald. Defensive Rookie of the Year in the NFC goes to, surprise, surprise, Emmanuel Forbes. You got best quarterback in the NFC is Daniel Jones. Best quarterback in the
Say
AFC,
David first.
Justin Herbert takes the award. Mm-mm-mm.
Damn, Pat was just there. That's crazy.
Nah, fool. The Bears first grade come to Carolina. Fall back.
Listen, rookie best running back in the AFC. Damn, Jameer Gibbs wins
Yeah.
that. Fuck. AI came in third. Damn it, I thought I was going to sneak back up. NFC best running back is
That's
Christian
surprising from
McCaffrey.
the
Christian
Dolphins. That
McCaffrey.
might be a good
That's
thing.
on
That's
me face
surprising from
with
the
tears of
Dolphins.
joy face with tears of joy face with tears of joy face with tears
Let me
of
go look
joy.
at the chat. These niggas is going
He
off. I just
draft
keep hearing
another
all chat
WR
shit.
burning
He
squinting
draft
face.
another wide receiver.
Yeah, it definitely is. Look, Trey Palmer wins the best wide receiver award in the NFC. In the AFC,
Damn,
you know
bro.
Xavier Smith wins that award. Offensive lineman in the AFC is Joe Thuney, the Chiefs. Well, the offensive lineman wins the award. Shout out to the
Don't
Chiefs.
worry about what
In the
I
NFC, the
draft.
Trent Williams old ass wins offensive lineman award
Damn,
in the
bro.
NFC. Best D lineman, Nick Bosa takes that award. In the AFC, best D lineman goes to Joey Bosa.
Face with tears of
Yeah,
joy
yeah, we
face with
almost swept
tears of
that with
joy
rookies.
face
We
with
almost
tears of
swept that with
joy.
rookie. Linebacker,
Oh,
Will
yeah, Nick
McDonald.
Bosa. Uh-uh. Um, man,
Will McDonald, NFC. Nolan Smith wins defense. Wins the best linebacker award.
damn, bro.
DBs. Emmanuel Forbes wins the DB award over top of Foster and Porter, Durant Horn. And in the AFC, looks like Derek Stingley brings home that trophy, best DB in the AFC. Derek Stingley.
Sting.
hmm All right, we're going to get the stats, and it's about to be ridiculous, fellas. So hold on to your seat here because we're about to see some numbers that I've never seen before. Fucking ridiculous.
For
Anthony
real.
Richardson, 8,897
Good
fucking
Lord.
yards, 100 touchdowns, 69 INT, 61% on the year. He threw for 523 yards a game, 107 QBR, 12.7 yards per play. 98 was his longest, and he's been sacked 65 times. If you want
700
that.
attempts.
The touchdown
Well,
makers, Anthony Richardson through 63, Martinez through 63, Josh Allen through 63, CJ Stroud through 63, Prescott through 63 picks. I'm talking about picks right now. Max Duggan through
interceptions.
63. Niggas are donating like a motherfucker. But the touchdown guys are 100 from Anthony Richardson, 97 from Daniel Jones, and Bryce Young with 88.
Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson should go up for sure.
hmm
Daniel Jones still on normal, bro. He never got a breakout with him. That's crazy.
All right, when you're looking at carries,
27.
427 from
Sheesh.
McCaffrey, 403 from Sean Tucker, 380, 364 from Walker. Najee Harris had 360, and the AI with 345. Rushing yards, we had a couple 2,000-yard back guys. We had three: McCaffrey, Sean Tucker, and Anthony Israel, 2,000-yard backs. And we're looking at the average per carry. Mark Andrews had a 35-yard run. Shit. Look at Boone out here tripping. Rushing touchdowns, though. 37 from McCaffrey, 31 from Tucker. Rashad Wright had 22.
Evan Hall had the 9.3, the best
Yards
running back on 130. Yeah,
yards per
9.3 per carry, 137 attempts.
Dambo.
Christian McCaffrey had averaged 182.3 yards a game. Sean Tucker had 144. Evan Hall stepped up to 127, and AI with 125 a game.
I ain't gonna lie, this nigga Christian McCaffrey is tired.
Yeah, his fucking legs hurt. That motherfucker's legs
Yeah,
hurt.
because them
Most fumbles.
430 carries he had in one less game. 16 games.
Amari
Exactly. Yeah.
Braxton led the league in fumbles with 11, and quarterback Adrian Martinez had 9.
Damn,
Kenneth
his
Walker, the
his
running
running
back,
back
had
touched the
8.
ball.
Shit, niggas got running backs with 8 fumbles out this bitch, bro. You want to see the quarterbacks up here, but running backs though.
And
All
no,
right,
that's the only running back up there.
this shit ridiculous because Andy Iso had 164 catches. Xavier Smith had 125.
That shit crazy.
Gerald Everett for the Chargers had 121. Keenan Allen had 116. Jalen Waddle had 116. Jamar Chase with 107. Pitts 107. DW 105. 100. Keep going down.
Damn Snake had
And 100
600
from Kirk.
carries, looking like me face with tears of joy.
600 carries. Jesus. All right, the yard guys, man. We got a 4,000-yard receiver, 4,134 yards, 33.1 yards a catch. Trey Palmer had 3,049. Andy Iso had 3,013. This nigga literally threw for 7,000 yards between two receivers.
Damn sure did, bro. That shit crazy. Sheesh.
Quez Watkins had 2,000 yards. Metcalf had 2,000 yards. Tyreek Hill had over 2,000 yards. DW had over 2,000 yards. Just getting them, racking them up yards,
Man,
racking
DW.
them
Hey,
up.
rookie.
Hey, rookie. Thornton had 2,000. Sheed had 2,000. Waddle had 2,000. Quentin Johnson had 2,000 yards. Jamar Chase
Okay.
had 2,000, and that was your 2,000 club right there. Touchdown makers, money makers. Andy Iso with
Man.
44 catches. Trey Palmer had 41. Xavier Smith caught 40. DW caught 31. Quez Watkins had 30. Metcalf
Bucks
29.
staying
Thornton
in this
29.
game.
28 from Tyreek Hill. Will Mallory 27. Jamar Chase 27. Keenan Allen 26. 25 from Rashid Shaheed. Waddle had 23. Quentin Johnson had 21. Chris Olev had 21. Cooper Kupp had 21. And Tutu Atwell had 20. With Billingsley right there at 19, tied with a couple guys. Defensive side of the ball right now. Led the team in tackles, 122 out of Troy Anderson for the Falcons. You had DeMarco Jackson for the Saints for 120, and a whole bunch of hundreds from there. Tackle for losses, though. Will McDonald had a sack. EIO, he had 63 fucking tackle for losses. Nick Bosa had 51. Yaya Diaby, another Texan, had 46. Christian Baymore, 45. 40 for Nolan Smith. 39 from Barnes. Johnson had 38, 37 from E.J. Donald had 36, Bosa had 36, Houston had 35, Darrell
Y'all know
Nichami
I'm
had
on spring
35.
break.
He's getting y'all
Passing all
know
my
I'm on
time
spring
rolling
break.
on the
Excited
floor
about
laughing.
bedtime. We almost done. We cleaning up right now. Sack wise though, 46 and a half from Will McDonald. Bosa had 36. Brian Burns had 35. 30 for Joey Bosa. Damn, I'm trying to think. Wait, maybe we could do it that way. All right, but 30,
28 and a
30
half
plus
for
that. 28,
Yaya
Yaya
Diab.
had 28 and a half. Nolan Smith on Star had 28 and a half. Liftis had 24. Patrick Godbolt from South Carolina State had 24. Jermaine Johnson second, 21 and a half. Uche. Wow. All right, so that's the sacks. Let's look at the INTs. 19 from Dion
Mm-mm-mm.
Henley, 18 from Porter. Stingley had 17 tied with Durant. Let me make sure we ain't missing nobody. Ramsey 17. Was he in the NFL doing?
Ramsey 17. Nah, I
Yeah,
don't see him
yeah,
up here.
yeah. Ramsey 17.
Ramsey tied with 17 with Stingley and Durant. Shit.
Bucks up 28-27. Just recovered a fumble.
Whoa. Hold up.
Oh,
Hold up.
Bucks up 28-7. Just recovered a fumble. Oh, recap. Uh-oh.
All I know is you
On the
better.
third quarter.
Wade
What's the
Ball
score?
playing WTF.
28-27.
28-27. Bucks up. 1 point.
1 point ball
Bucks at
game.
the
They fucking
Bucks
rocking.
at the 8-yard line.
About to score?
Yeah.
Yeah, he in the red zone.
First and goal.
Mm-mm-mm. They going at it, boy. Hardwire. Let's go. Mm-hmm. And that's our show, fellas. We are out of here.